disappointed with the result. Been punished for three basic errors. I'd say that the 2 goals in Toronto, basic errors, and the goal in NYC was basic errors. So you know, we can talk all we want, really, and what I've told the team is that in this league you get punished, and if you don't do the basics really well, then you will get goals against you. And it's the evolution of this team, is that they need to start learning fast, because you lose games, and losing games and suffering this adversity is not nice, and I don't want them to lose their confidence. And they're playing some really good football. They're controlling large parts of games, and we look at times a really good team, and I'm really pleased with that aspect. But if you don't defend wide free kicks with courage and bravery, if you don't sprint back in at times or give careless passes away, then you're going to get punished in this league, and that's what's happened in the last 3 games. But I've got to say, I can't fault their commitment, their effort, their drive, their determination to try and get back in the game from going 2 goals down. That for me was really admirable. And you know, a lot of the players in the last 3 games would probably leave the field thinking, "Oh, I've done really well in these games, and we've lost all 3 games." That's the evolution of a team that's new and young in not young in age, but young in sort of like the build, that need to learn today, not in 6 games time, 7 games time, because each game is going to get tougher as the run's going like this. So we've got to learn fast, and it's dig-in time.
We'll get started with questions in the room, and then if you have any on Zoom, please raise your hand. We'll get started with Franco Panizo and then Ian Hess.
Hey, Phil. Obviously, you guys fight hard to get back into this one, but didn't start too great there in the first half. What was your overall analysis of the first half, and why did these mistakes that you've just referenced? Is it players just tuning off? Is it just
it's concentration. It's concentration, because we've had more than the ball in sort of like this season. There is it's that concentration level. You've got to have glazed eyes. You've got to be able to. You've got to be able to have possession of the ball and be in good positions to receive and good positions to react when you lose the ball. And if you think about the first goal, it was a diagonal pass that was into the half of Chicago, and 3 passes later it was in the back of our net. That's unacceptable. It's not as if it was a pass in and around our box that got punished. It was a diagonal pass that travelled 40 yards that we still had time to recover back into shape. The second goal was I thought we were weak. On the wide free kick, we let the ball bounce again, and then he scores with a great shot. And the third goal, we are chasing it, but it's about doing the right things, making the right choices, making the right decisions. So I'd say that every goal we've conceded over the last 3 games has been through a lack of concentration, and that's where I say we've got to learn really quick, because we've got players that are playing to a real good level. And we've lost the last 3 games when we feel as if we're doing well. So we've got to start learning fast, and that has to start. That's to start sooner rather than later, because we're on the road next week to a team that's really good in Cincinnati, and they will punish you for half a mistake, never mind a full mistake. And I'd say in the games, apart from probably Chris McVeigh's own goal against NYC, we've not made glaring errors. We've just made half mistakes that we've been punished for, and that's the real disappointment. And it masks the good play that we're doing.
Next, we'll go to Ian Hess and then to Xavier Guerrero.
Hey, Phil, you've been very adamant about building the culture over the past couple of years, staying positive. DeAndre's obviously been a great leader with that. How, through these past 3 games, do you stay positive? Do you keep a good locker room going while also needing to do those critiques and being hard, knowing that there's 3 tough losses in a young season?
I mean, if you think back to the previous 2 seasons, we've got 6 points on the board now in the first 5 games. We'd had 0 points on the board last year, perhaps one I think we had against Chicago. So we're in a much better place this year. We're a different team than last year. We're a different team than the previous 3 seasons. We at this moment in time, we've got 3 starters out the team, and three big starters out the team. We're going to get 2 starters back ASAP that will bring something to the group. So we've got to remain really calm. I think if it was attitude, then you can critique them. I think if it was lack of attitude or commitment, it's not that. It's about learning. It's about learning from your mistakes. It happens in any evolution of any new team of young players and young teams, is that you've got to learn very fast, and sometimes the best way to learn is from a punishment. It's from making those mistakes, and we're making mistakes. And I'm saying it's not the new or young players in the team. It's some of the experienced ones as well.
Good evening, Coach. Franco Negri, if the outcome would have been different, could have been man of the match. He had a goal, an assist, and Pizarro was very active and busy today in the game. But both were subbed off. Was this to minutes, or what was the reason?
Well, Franco had cramp. So that was, and really, Rodolfo had run really hard in the game, and what we thought at the end is that how can we get goals onto the pitch, more goals and more energy onto the pitch, and we know that Kramashi is a goal scorer, and you think about the two half chances that he had, is slightly different to what Rodolfo was doing. So those were the reasons.
Next question, Daniel Solana in the back.
Hey, Coach. Tough loss. One thing that the coach from Chicago mentioned, that he had a striker to go to in K. Kamara at the end of the game. We don't have yet that, or our two guys who are our veterans are out on international duty. Is that something that you saw, looking back at the bench and who you have sitting back there, that we don't have like that veteran presence or somebody to put in at the end of the game who could score a goal like that we need?
Well, I mean, yeah, you're right. I mean, we played a game when there's an international, so it doesn't make sense. Look at Atlanta's result tonight. I think they have five players missing. It just doesn't seem fair. But again, just going to accept it. We have Leo out. We have Joseph out. Schneider's been out for the last 3.5-4 weeks since the start of the season. So he couldn't play 90 minutes. I thought Stefanelli was really good. And it was probably, you think about what we've invested in. Stefanelli's the first person to score goals in those players that we've invested money in. So that's a big boost. We know that he's going to get 8 to 10 goals. Now add the other goals in from Joseph, who scored for Venezuela last night, and Leo when he comes back. We're going to be a team that score goals. I think there is always an excuse of why we didn't have players on the bench tonight that we would have had with Robert Taylor and Joseph, who are away on international duty. And obviously with Leo's with his injury, we're out there. But I think the kid Borgelin's going to be a really good player. Stefanelli's played 9 for his previous team, and we had Lassiter, and we had enough players to fill in those spaces. Unfortunately, not the players that would normally start.
Last 2 questions. We'll go to Franco Panizo and then to Xavier Guerrero.
Phil, their coach just now said that something that they noticed from recent games studying InterMiami is that you guys get narrow in the box when you defend, and he said that they worked on low crosses to the back post to try to exploit that. What is the game plan for you guys to avoid plays like today where 2 goals come with low crosses to the back post?
Oh, that's bullshit, really. I think, I honestly think it is, because I think you just got to defend. You think about the first goal; it had nothing to do with the way that we defend. The last goal had nothing to do with the way they defend. So, I think that's bullshit.
Last question, Xavier.
Coach, we had 2 young players, and Reese and Kramashi in today. They showed a lot of temperament. They showed like they belong and looked comfortable. Can you talk a little bit about those 2 players?
Well, if you think about the players on the pitch at the end, Borgelin, Harvey, Kramashi, David Ruiz, that's the way that we're going to go. And I'm incredibly proud of those 4 performances tonight. I thought they all made an impact in the game, and we've had subs in the previous 2 weeks that haven't really made impact. So I was incredibly proud of all of them. David Ruiz making his MLS debut showed courage to get on the ball. He's going to be a really good young player for us. We know he's got a lot of development. Borgelin, Harvey, Kramashi, they're doing absolutely fantastic. This club will invest in young players, and with young players, they're going to make mistakes and they're going to do things that probably experienced players don't do. But by Lord, they are doing incredibly well. They're pushing. You think about the performance of Borgelin and Harvey in particular. They're pushing to be starters in this football team, and they're pushing the players below in front of them. And David Ruiz over the next 2-3 months without Gregory is going to become a really important player for us in that midfield, with the lack of depth we've got in there. And it's not depth; it's a certain type of profile. We've only got Victor now with that type of profile. So and Borgelin is a goal threat. and he will play. And if he's better than Joseph and Leo, he will play. And that's the way that we're going to go this year. We're going to go with the young players. That's what we've invested in terms of sort of like our thought process. And tonight, I think you get to that point when it's 2-2. And we have four MLS2 graduates in our first team. I think that was probably the most pleasing thing about tonight.
Thank you, Phil. Next, we'll be joined by Nicolas Stefanelli. Raise your hand and same on Zoom. We'll get started in the front with Franco, then to Ian, and then to the back. 1 second, Franco.
Nico, emociones encontradas seguro porque hicieron un gran papel en el segundo tiempo para empatar el partido. Tú metes tu primer gol, pero obviamente se pierde al final. Los sentimientos ahorita después de una derrota seguramente tan dura.
Sí, es dura, así como lo decís. Creo que se vio dos caras, ¿no? Yo creo que se vio una cara del equipo el primer tiempo y otro el segundo. Creo que el primer tiempo tenemos muchas cosas por corregir. Nos hacen el primer gol, yo creo que estamos cometiendo muchos errores individuales. Pero bueno, es parte del juego. Nosotros nos equivocamos y ellos nos supieron aprovechar las situaciones, que fútbol. Pero bueno, me voy un poco más tranquilo por la cara del segundo tiempo, de lo que mostró el equipo, que pudo empatar el partido de un 2-0 a un 2-2. Y la espina esa que te queda la última jugada, que tenemos que ser un poco más inteligentes, de tratar de no ir como loco y quedar bien parados, porque en esta liga una chance te deja sin ningún punto.
Ian Hess next, and then we'll go to the back.
Nico, things in the second half started to open up for you, especially when Schneider came on. It allowed for maybe more of a target striker for you to play off of. Do you feel more comfortable with that? Were you enjoying your play in the first half when it was basically just you and the freedom to move around and find those pockets?
Yeah, I mean, when I play as a number 9, my teammates, they know that they should not play the long balls, and I make a lot of channel runs. I think in the first half I had some situations that I could use those channel runs. I think I have one ball that I shoot from outside the box, that it goes a little bit to the outside post. But I feel comfortable play. I say in the beginning when I came to this club, I don't have a preference position. Like, I think if you see my game this night, I play as a number 9, I play as a number 11, I play as a number 10, and I play sometimes as a number 7. I learn because I like football. I feel comfortable in every position. Depends of the opponents. If they defend with 3, where the spaces are. If they defend with 2 central defenders, where the space is going to be. If they have like 3 midfields, there are some different spaces to take it. So you need to be a little bit smart and know the position. But as I say, I feel comfortable playing as all the positions.
Buenas noches, Nicolás. Ever Hernández de This is Football. Felicidades por el gol, una lástima que se nos va el partido al final. Obviamente ya le respondiste al muchacho un poco de la parte de la pregunta que te quería hacer. ¿Te sentís más cómodo? Te vi más cómodo de 9, te vi bien entre los centrales. ¿Sentís que esa posición es la tuya? Sabemos que sos un jugador de mucha llegada al arco, mucho gol. ¿Tenés una preferencia o crees que obviamente, como decías, ayudás más al equipo donde sea?
Sí, bueno, yo creo que una de las cosas que me gusta de 9 es que no me desespero y que siempre tengo la mentalidad, siempre tengo una charla interna en los partidos, y más cuando juego de delantero, de punta solo o de segundo punta, siempre pienso, ahora me va a quedar una. Entonces jugando de 9 es como que tengo esa sensación. Pero jugando de 10 trato de estar más involucrado en el juego, en lo que es en el build-up, en el ser el nexo con los delanteros y tratar de alimentarlo con pelotas para que tengan situaciones de gol. Yo creo que al haber jugado de delantero, de 9, al principio de mi carrera, de falso 9, me da una llegada a ser como un mediocampista cuando juego de 10, con mucha llegada al gol, con muchas situaciones. Pero no tengo preferencia por si me decís que me gusta jugar de 10 o me gusta jugar de 9. Yo creo que depende del partido. Hay partidos donde hay mucho espacio a las espaldas de los centrales, que ahí sí me gustaría jugar de 9. Y hay partidos donde quizás te juegan con un mediocampista solo, un 5 solo, y que hay mucho espacio para jugar de 10. Entonces, dependiendo del rival, uno analiza dónde se sentiría más cómodo.
Next to Xavier and then back to Franco.
Buenas noches, Nico. Felicidades por tu gol. Lamentable que no fue una victoria. Pero jugaste un buen partido, estás jugando más minutos cada partido y se ve que estás creciendo como jugador en este equipo. ¿Qué puede esperar los fanáticos de ti? Más goles, asistencias. ¿Qué se puede esperar ya que estás mejorando cada partido?
No, bueno, yo creo que todos sabíamos que iba a ser un proceso de adaptación. Un país nuevo, nunca estuve en los Estados Unidos, una liga nueva, con muchos jugadores de calidad. Vengo del frío al calor, así que también es una adaptación, por más de que yo sea argentino y ese es clima cálido, pero estuve viviendo 3 años en el frío y bueno, uno tiene que acostumbrar todo. Es otro fútbol, se juega mucho más directo, mucho más rápido de la liga de donde vengo, y hoy no me voy contento con el resultado porque siempre uno como equipo quiere ganar, y más de local, habiendo ganado los 2 últimos partidos local. Vamos a tener esta espina en la semana, pero estoy contento con mi forma física. Hice una buena pretemporada, no tuve, por suerte, lesiones, y bueno, siento que como que estamos dando, a mí en lo personal, dando pequeños pasos que pueden llegar a algo bueno. Vengo de 2 temporadas con más de 10 goles, así que espero, siempre uno en la cabeza trata de batir eso, pero uno siempre también pone del otro lado en ayudar al equipo, que eso es lo primero, y ganar partidos.
Next Franco and then Ian.
Nico, ya hablaste en lo individual, jugando como 9, pero en lo colectivo, ¿cuál fue la idea? ¿Cuál fue el plan del equipo en ese primer tiempo, donde no se vio, como dijiste, un gran primer tiempo? Bastantes pelotas aéreas que no ganaban,
Sí.
que Chicago ganó amenudamente. Entonces, ¿cuál fue la idea? ¿Y se plasmó o no se plasmó?
Yo creo que ellos no supimos superar su primera presión. Entonces, esto que vos decís de los balones largos es porque nos forzaron a tirar balones largos. Entonces, detrás de eso hay una buena presión de ellos o una mala ejecución que no pudimos saltar con sus delanteros. Con sus wing nos saltaban a las dos defensas centrales y no encontramos ese pase en el medio que quizás no queríamos arriesgar o estábamos como dando siempre el pase fácil. Y para romper la presión hay veces que tenés que dar ese pase para romper líneas. Perdimos los segundos balones, perdimos mucho los duelos, que es fundamental cuando quizás no tenés un buen build-up y el balón largo, quizás la primera jugada no la ganás, tenés que tratar de intentar la segunda o la tercera. Y mediante eso yo creo que ellos se fueron creciendo en el partido, al ganar la segunda pelota y empezar a jugar, ellos agarraron confianza y nos hacían correr, y sentimos el desgaste, consiguieron el 1-0, consiguieron el 2-0, creo que no nos supimos reponer rápido, tuvimos ahí momentos del partido que no nos encontrábamos, no había juego. Y creo que en los últimos 10 minutos del primer tiempo se vio un Inter ya yendo a buscar el partido, creo que tuvimos chances y bueno, pudimos por lo menos ir al entretiempo con un gol abajo nada más.
Last question, Ian.
Yeah, I just want to ask about how the guys are feeling. Three losses in a row now. You had such a hot start to the season. Everybody felt pretty good about things. The locker room seemed to all be on the same page. With 3 losses now in a row, what do you guys go into tomorrow talking about and just trying to maintain positivity?
No, we try. I mean, if you look at the last games, the games that we lose, I think in New York we've been unlucky. I think we play a really good first half. We didn't score the goal, and then it's like in this league it's like you make a mistake and you get punished, and we get punished and we couldn't come back. That game became uphill and we lost the game. Toronto was the same. I think we play a really good first half. The second half they start with a 1-0 goal. And then it's changed the game. It completely changed the game. And with this game, I say we lost the first half. We can't give away the first half, and then it's quite really impossible to come back to the game. We did it, and then we wasn't smart enough to keep at least the 2-2. But with the guys, we're gonna keep on fighting. We're gonna stay together. We say in the beginning of the preseason that the togetherness in this group is gonna be the number one. We know it's a long season. Now we try to analyze this game, try what we can do better. We don't point fingers to each other. We start with ourselves. And we go on Tuesday and we keep on training. Yeah, we have another game in Cincinnati that is really important for us. That we're gonna go and we're gonna try to get the 3 points.
Thank you. That concludes tonight's press conference. We'll see you again next week.
Thank you guys. Have a good night. See you.
Record.